My name is Celeste, and this is my story. I grew up in a spiritually dead home. My mom was a Christian, but she had kind of lost her path during my childhood, and as far as I know, my dad wasn't a believer while I was growing up. I went to church occasionally, but had really never heard about the whole relationship with Christ thing. I knew the stories, but and I believed all the stories, but I thought that Christ died for you. He didn't die for me. I knew that God loved people, and I just wasn't one of them. And at an early age, I really felt that I had been predestined to go to hell, and that no matter what I did, I couldn't earn God's love, and that I was going to hell. Instead of seeking acceptance from God, I sought it through other people. Became sexually active in middle school and started seeking worth and joy in men primarily, but also in drugs and alcohol. And when I got to high school, that escalated, but it was still something that no one could really see. I was still able to keep it hidden and cover it up with good grades and extracurricular activities and just being an all-around good student. But when I went to college, my sense of hopelessness and being lost was completely apparent, and I was this tornado of destruction and ruining all of the relationships that I had. I started doing harder drugs and started shoplifting a lot, and was just really ruining everything that was in my life. And through all this, my sister and her husband were really the people that still loved me despite how ugly my life had become and how many mistakes I was making. And they really just came up behind me and continually pointed me to Christ and continually had these hard conversations of, do you know who Christ is? Do you know that he died on a cross for you? And I knew who he was, but I had built up these walls that, sure, yeah, he died, but I'm not someone that he died for. I have all these mistakes in my past that I've done, and he's not going to forgive me for those. My brother-in-law's dad brought me to Hope. Hope wasn't a place or a church like any other church that I had been to, and I just felt accepted and felt that it was through the messiness that God's grace really shone, and that Hope is good at showing that. And I continually just kept hearing this message of grace and grace and grace and grace, and that despite all of the mistakes that people make, God still loves you, and he's much bigger than those mistakes. I ended up joining a small group of young women, and it was through that that I was really challenged to grow and started to learn more and being held accountable for things that I was doing. I was dating a guy at the time who is now my husband, and we had been dating for about a year, and we made the decision to stop having sex before marriage. And it was through that, submitting that to Christ and being obedient, that God really worked in my life and showed me that I am worthy and that I am loved and that I am a bride of Christ. And he started just really working in my life and showing me through my obedience that I am his child and that he cares for me. So it's through this time that that God was really able to restore a lot of relationships that I had either destroyed or that had just been dysfunctional since day one. And seeing how God can use someone's mistakes and their messiness and things that we find shame in has really been one of the most amazing parts of my journey, because he has been able to take something so shameful and guilt-ridden and turned it into something for his glory. I had put a label on myself and what God could do with my life, but God is so much bigger than my mistakes, and he is able to use my mistakes and my messiness and my muck for his glory. And I'm just so thankful that I don't have to do it on my own.